debut novel, Fake Fish, which has been published by Sparsa Books. And the novel is a dystopian story on the potentially devastating impact of fake news and deep fake technology in our society. And the part I'm going to read focuses on one of the main characters called Martin Hermans. And he's a film studies student, and he has released a deep fake video of one of his professors, which has damaged the reputation of this professor quite severely. And we encounter Martin as he arrives at the house of his professor trying to undo what he has wrought. So here we go, Fake Fish. The blood-red painted letters on the wall of the open plan living and dining room in Pryor's house are at least 1 meter tall. The thick, ferocious spray breathes the rage of its maker, and for a moment, Martin is convinced the furiously tinted accusation is directed at him. He flinches and closes his eyes. When he opens his eyes again, the paint is still maiming the delicate flowers on the wallpaper. MCP, male, chauvinist, pig. He tries to swallow down the sharp wave of panic hitting the back of his throat. He's here to make amends, to put everything right again. Martin decided to do anything Pryor will ask him. He'll sign any paper, though it will certainly mean the end of his studies. He appears to be too late. If he hadn't known better, he would have sworn to be on the set of one of those drug and gang series he liked to watch when he was a few years younger. Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, Narcos, El Chapo, Cocaine Coast. All of the shows ended the same, with people and places trashed to pieces. There are glass splinters from the smashed front window everywhere. Careful not to trip, he doesn't want to cut himself, Martin tries to tiptoe around the fragments. They still crunch and snap underneath the soles of his brown boots. The brick with which the window has been shattered lies next to one of the 4 dining chairs, which are on their backs, 3 with their legs broken. Except for a small portrait of a black-haired girl in a dark jumper, all paintings have been ripped from the walls. Although the portrait is still in its place, it has been gashed. The cut runs across the girl's face from the corner of her mouth to her earlobe. Martin leans in to read the inscription on the bronze plaque, which is screwed tightly into its frame. De Maagd by M. Bormans. The name sounds familiar, but not familiar enough for him to know if it's a valuable piece. He hopes it isn't an original. The painting is done in a style that reminds him of the Dutch old masters. The artist, however, gave it a modern twist. 2 laser beams painting in white blast from the girl's blank eyes. The family photos, which Pryor and his partner must have selected carefully once, have been knocked off the sideboard. Martin bends over to pick up a frame from the herringbone parquet floor. Pryor, his husband, and their 3 children, 2 boys and a girl, smile back at him to the dirt of a footprint on the glass.
Can you tell us a little bit more about the book and what you hope people will take from it?
Mm-hmm. So as said before, the book is about fake news, or more specifically synthetic media and deep fake videos, and their impact on our society, or more specifically our future society. So it's a near future novel.
Yes.
My publisher says it's a bit of a meeting between Margaret Atwood and Quentin Tarantino. So it's
I got a little bit of Margaret Atwood when I was reading it. Yes.
So it's dystopian, but it's also very high paced with a lot of dialogue and also a lot of references to film and art, which has inspired me. And it is actually about the question how you can still do the right thing and make the right choices if you don't know anymore what the truth is and what makes a lie a lie. And several characters have to deal with this deep fake video which has been released of this professor I was talking about before, and have to take position, will they come to his defense, or do they believe that he is indeed the kind of person that he's made out to be in that video.
So it touches on kind of broader topics of trust in the media, but also at a much more personal level in terms of the relationships between people and their trust as well.
Yeah, exactly.
So it is working at big macro scale and at a personal level. I see. And what inspired your writing?
Well, of course, several things that inspired my writing, apart from books that I've read and authors whose work I very much admire. It's film, as I said before, music as well, but particularly for this novel, it also has been discussions I had with my own students about cultural polarization, but also deep fakes and their concerns about developments regarding AI.
So you were exploring your students' fears and worries about the future of the written word and maybe movies as well, even music and other forms of culture. In this artificial, what did you call it? It's a sort of synthetic
media.
That's fascinating. Whilst you've been here in Scotland doing your book tour to launch your debut novel, what has been the highlight for you, or the highlights for you, of your publishing experience?
I was very impressed by how warmly I was welcomed here, and everywhere I came, people were so enthusiastic and excited and wanted to talk with me about this book. So there was that in principle already made this an amazing experience.
A final question this evening is about your own preferences in reading. And what's your favourite book that you've read this year, let's say, and why?
Well, this year I reread a couple of books, and one of them is Clara and the Sun by Ishiguro. And in general, I actually like all of his books, but this one in particular I like because it's also about artificial intelligence. And I don't dare to compare myself to him, but what he does really, really well is that he captures such large development on a very intimate and personal level, and something also tried to do in my book. And I just love his style of writing, which is very clean and sober, but at the same time he suggests so much in between the lines of what he writes.